if you'll see maybe an African American male with a Caucasian female, you'll think that he doesn't believe that, you know, African American women are a higher enough standard.
Brothers, or for the white person in that relationship, is like, oh, they like black people, or black sex is better, or things like that. So that's what I would say.
Of people that have an interracial marriage, that they're bold, because it has that connotation of, you shouldn't do this, like from what we've seen from other people maybe throughout history. It wasn't the easiest thing to have two races come together, so I stereotypically, I guess, think, oh, they were bold.
So, I don't see anything wrong with interracial dating, because anybody can date anybody to me, but in my culture, it's not bad, but it would be out of place to date outside of your culture. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, and my grandma, who's Puerto Rican, it's very like astonishing to her if we were to bring home like a black person.
I have, and I would. I mean, aside from like people like saying things about like you and you're like dating a black person, or like
I have dated somebody outside of my race.
What was her ethnicity?
She was Dominican.
Yeah. Right. All right. So, can you please tell us about your experience? Like anything positive or negative?
One of the negative things is that she didn't want to introduce me to her parents because she knew that her father wouldn't approve of me. And the funny thing is, I actually am Hispanic, but I'm darker. I'm mixed, so to see the black mostly, so he wouldn't approve of his daughter being with the black guy.
So dating outside of my race, not specifically, like, even like the Taiwanese girls was kind of a surprise. But then regarding, I guess, black girls, like I don't know, I just don't really find attraction to them, I guess.
I dated a Dominican.
Okay.
So he's not Colombian, but
Okay.
Latino. So that's the same thing. For me to date someone that's outside of one of my races, I think it would be really hard, because Asian, white, and tan. Like, so I would have to date a black person, but I've yet to date a black person.
Okay.
some pros was that I guess I was more exposed to other cultures, and I got to learn about my ex-boyfriend's culture. But a con is definitely the fact that they couldn't understand my conservative family's beliefs, and they didn't understand why my family couldn't find out about our relationship until we reached a certain level.
I think that it's something different about dating someone that's in your race. I think that you get something else out of the experience of like being able to relate to someone that has also like that knows some of the kind of things that go on as it pertains to the race you're in.
Okay.
I think my friends would find it to be okay. I think that my mom would find it to be okay, but I do think that my grandparents would probably have a bit of a problem with that because they grew up in the 40s down south, so they'd probably find that to be problematic.
So something that has to do with not specifically someone that's black or identifies as black, but I guess someone that's non-Hispanic or that doesn't speak Spanish, I'm concerned that my mom would raise would be, how am I going to communicate with them? Like, you know, how's this going to happen? So
I think my grandparents would not approve of me dating outside of my race because they are first generation Koreans. I think with my parents, at first they would disapprove, but I would be able to talk to them.
See, I don't know, like my family, the older side of my family, they're pretty prejudiced, I would say.
Okay.
They're obviously not racist because they're black, you can't be racist. But I would say they're pretty prejudiced, so They'd be like, oh, that light bright or that yellow person, or they not really black, and all that blah 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 blah. So I would get a lot of backlash from that.
Cool.